Hello everyone, my name is History Nuggets, and today we are going to be talking about the New Kingdom of Egypt, also known as the Egyptian Empire. The New Kingdom of Egypt is described as the 18th, 19th, and 20th dynasties of Egypt, marking itself in history as the peak of Egyptian life and power. The 18th dynasty is viewed to have started with Ahmose I, who would begin his campaign against his father Sequan-Tao, where he would unite all of Egypt. After this, he would invade Levant against the Hyksos to prevent any future invasions of Egypt proper. Ahmose would be followed by Amenhotep I, who did not really do much and only campaigned into Nubia. He would be followed by Thutmose I, who would begin his reign with major campaigns into the Levant, reaching as far as the Euphrates, becoming the first pharaoh to reach this far. The Syrian princes would declare allegiance with Thutmose, only to change their minds right afterward. After Thutmose I would be Heshusmat, the daughter of Thutmose I. After her husband Thutmose II died, she would become king, beginning her reign with major constructions of the Karnak Temple of Luxor and establishing lots of buildings throughout all of Egypt. She would also establish the major trade networks we saw in the Middle Kingdom of Egypt, building major wealth for this dynasty to come. After her death, Thutmose III assumed rule and began his reign with extreme Egyptian militarism, expanding heavily as well as becoming the most powerful king of this whole new kingdom, as well as one of the most powerful in the entire ancient Egyptian era of history. Thutmose III was so powerful that the term pharaoh actually first started being used thanks to his power. Thutmose would be known as a militaristic genius, with himself leading 16 campaigns in only 20 years. He would capture over 350 cities in these campaigns and conquered much of the Near East, from the Euphrates to Nubia. Fighting against Mitanni, he would conquer mostly all of these cities. After his legendary reign, Amenhotep III would take place, who would finish the Luxor Temple, the precinct of Mantu, and the massive Mutrei Temple, solidifying his extreme wealth. He also built the Malakata Palace, the largest in Egypt. After this would be Amenhotep IV, who would quickly change his name to Akhenaten in honor of the sun god Ra. Being the first instance of monotheism, he would spend much of his reign in a new direction of Egyptian religion, performing rituals to Aten as well as a new form of Egyptian art. The 19th dynasty of Egypt would begin with Ramesses I, who would mark the transition period between the 18th dynasty and the extreme height of the 19th century. He would be passed on by Seti I, who would fight many wars in Western Asia, Libya, and Nubia, capturing Kadesh from the Hittite Empire as well as defending the town from counterattacks. Seti I would be passed on by Ramesses II, who would seek to recover territories from the Levant that were lost. Dealing with raids from the Sea People, defeating them, he would then lead into the Battle of Kadesh. With this major battle being ruled as undecided, both sides would claim victory. A peace treaty would be signed, and he would campaign into the Levant once more, capturing Edom and Moab. Qadna and Tunip would be captured as well, making a giant statue of Ramesses II there. Ramesses' reign saw many statues and monuments built, such as the rock temples of Bus and Bod. After Ramesses II's death, the downfall of the new kingdom would begin, with his sons doing poorly in the military, resulting in anarchy. The eventual rise of Sednatkit and the beginning of the 20th dynasty would then turn on afterward. The 20th dynasty would not see much from rulers, the only notable one being Ramesses III, who would defend Egypt from the Sea Peoples many times, including the Battle of Dejeh and the Battle of the Delta. He would also fight against Libyan tribesmen in the western Delta many times. These major wars resulted in Egyptian economies beginning to crash and the food to begin falling apart. After a failed coup, Ramesses III would die, being passed on by Ramesses IV. Ramesses IV would see the end of the new kingdom of Egypt, with much bickering going on between who was the harem. Droughts, famine, corruption, and the Nile being a jerk would result in the eventual downfall of Egypt. The last pharaoh, Ramesses XI, saw the high priest of Amun take over the Egyptian empire, and the beginning of the Third Intermediate Period would begin soon afterward. All in all, the new kingdom of Egypt saw the height of Egyptian power in the ancient world, becoming the sole dominant power of the known world for years to come. This is History Nuggets. Thank you for watching.